So over here in the Lumetri color panel, we have other options as well. Under basic correction, we have creative. If I click on creative and open that up, we see here that we have intensity that we could add. We could add saturation. So watch my vector scope as it grows and gets smaller as I add and subtract saturation. Also in my scene. I could change the tint balance. I could add more, for instance, blue to my shadow area, or I could add more yellow to my bright areas. Under Creative, they have this preset called Look. So if I click on None, and if I select something that's very blue, now the presets move towards blue. I could also try another one. Let's see, there's a green one. I'll try green. Okay, so it has these presets that are kind of interesting. Or I could use the sliders myself and, for instance, add more or less saturation. Now notice that as I reduce the saturation, how my vector scope goes down to one pinpoint there, and as I crease it, it really shows the tint. So I may or may not like that creative effect. I'm not particularly wild about it, so I'm going to unclick that and get back to my basic color correction. Okay, so another one that is on the list here is curves. So you could have different kinds of curves, but if I have my basic curve here, it could add contrast or less contrast. So I'm bringing the blacks down and I'm increasing the whites up. So it gives it kind of an S formation and adds more contrast. And you could see that in my waveform. If I did the opposite and I brought up the blacks and down the whites, you see how it changes the waveform and the look of the scene. So that's probably not what I want. I want it to be a little bit more contrasty and a little bit more bright.